Peace and blessings and bright moments unto you all, beloved patrons and lovely supporters and clients of all assortments, right? My name is David A. Richards of UnearthedFlames, and today, under the auspicious energies of the new moon of June 14th, I just wanted to take the time to make a few videos, not necessarily discussing what Reiki is, because there's hundreds of videos about what Reiki is already. I wanted to connect more on a personal level and discuss what the form of Reiki I provide and the unique experiences that is provided here through Unearthed Flames. By unique experiences, I'm talking about the special offerings of services that I provide to my esteemed patrons. We'll eventually in this series talk more about the KRC units, what are the Kundalini Reiki conductors, the MPC units, which are the nature projection conductor units. Also, we'll get into the Reiki smudging of apartments, houses, yards, your sacred space, the place in your dwelling, right? Clearing out that energy with Reiki, just like a person would do with sage and other high frequency incense to clear out some of those negative energies, right? We'll talk about situational Reiki packages that I do provide to our clients for more specific issues. The half sessions, the sample sessions. We'll also talk about the full sessions. And we'll leave it at that for now as we continue to go on through many different videos that we'll start to put out to connect with more people, right? So, one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about is why my Reiki sessions feel different. A heart-centered approach to healing. That's what we'll get with, right? But for now, let's just start off with my journey into Reiki. So, my journey into Reiki started back in 2017 when I just left Morgan State. I'm back living at home and stuff with my mother and sister. And got a lot of free time on my hands. So I'm getting into meditation, diving deep within self. And just like, the basic spirituality starter pack is you got your tiger's eye crystals and amethyst stones, and if maybe a little more advanced, you get some moldavite. So I used to visit this crystal shop in Montgomery County in a place around Four Corners, right next to Montgomery Blair High School, right? And one day I was in there, picking up some crystals, right? And I saw an ad in there about Reiki. So I was like, what is this Reiki in there, right? And the lady informed me it was Reiki and there was a workshop that was going to be there. So I decided to sign up for this workshop and I signed up. It was a decent sized class, but unfortunately, I was the last one who had signed up for the class. By the time it was my turn, the class was over, so I didn't get to actually receive any Reiki that day. But afterwards, I left to go to my older sister's house. I have two older sisters that are identical twins, so I went over their house to go chill and hang out with my nieces. And what the younger twin wasn't feeling so well, so I was like, let me see if I can attempt to do some type of healing from what I saw in that class. And I put my hands on my older sister's feet and I just breathe into her feet essentially, and it helped balance her out and calm her down, right? And she told me it really worked and she felt like a difference. So that was something that sparked something off in me. So again, I was on YouTube heavily at this time, and I came across a teacher, a great man by the name of Sri Master Gena Groves, who would eventually become my teacher in the future. And the information Sri Master was putting out there was so vast. I was consuming it with a voracious appetite. Pause. Like, I was watching a whole bunch of videos at once. 2-3 hours would go by and I wouldn't even notice it. So this eventually led me to go into the seminars, because the notes that I would take down and apply it, I was seeing results. And I wanted to connect more with my beloved ancestors and the exalted beings, right? So I met a friend there by the name of Brock Knight. Bless up, big brother. Respect me, G. And one day we were on the phone talking, and he had his Kundalini activated by Sri Master. So I asked him to send me some Reiki, because, I was still curious about this Reiki thing. And as he sending me Kundalini location Reiki, I'm watching a video of Sri Master on YouTube. And Sri Master said, straighten up your back. And at the time, I was kind of like hunched over or whatever. But when I straightened up my back, at that very moment when I was receiving Reiki, it was a whole bunch of energy that just went out my Sushumna, my spinal column, and just permeated throughout my body. I was like, whoa, right? I said, I have to get my Kundalini activated by Sri Master so I could be able to experience this more and use it to help people. And again, the concept of healing people with energy, it brought me all the way back to my childhood when I used to watch a show called Dragon Ball Z. It was this Namekian, this green little boy that looked Muslim, right? He could heal people by touching them or placing his hands in front of them or above their head, right? His name was Dende. So that was always something that I was interested in doing. So that is what got me into more involved into Reiki. Why at UnearthedFlames do we harping so much upon empowerment rather than dependency with our beloved patrons? And I'll say it starts at this. Big up to my mother and father and my family, because this was some of the key principles that would later become the foundation of who I am as a young man and what we provide here at UnearthedFlames. So they installed those key foundations in me. And I'd be remiss to not mention my teacher, SMGG, who would often speak about expansion, enrichment, and empowerment. So with these concepts and floating around in the consciousness, this is why we don't necessarily want our patrons to be so heavily dependent. We want to go ahead and empower them, because within the first 2.5 years of me having an activated Kundalini, performing Kundalini Reiki at the time, it would have later evolved into UltrAnahata Reiki. But while I was doing Kundalini Reiki at the time, I had many of clients and customers that would often say, oh, David, like, they would eventually fall back. And I was curious to know why. Like, was there something wrong with the service or anything that I was providing that could be better? And they said, no. Oh, David, like, I just, you're just such a sweet, kind-hearted guy. I didn't want to just keep bringing all my problems to you and trauma dumping on you. I didn't want to bring all that negativity to you, and you're such a calm, cool, sweet person. And I'd be like, oh, okay. But I would let them know that this is the life I chose. This is what I want to do, right? So I had to come up with a way of being innovative so I can have my Patreons leave their sessions feeling more empowered and noticing it better to the point where they can see they're getting help and it's not affecting me in such the way that they had perceived at the time, right? So that is what led me into producing what I call the KRC units, the Kundalini Reiki conductor units, right? And those are essentially, I empower different objects with one of the 12 aspects of, at the time, it was formerly known as Kundalini Reiki, now UltrAnahata level 1. So I would empower the objects with one of those aspects that way. For like instance, a ring. When you're going through something, you're getting like a panic attack, anxiety attack, or stressed out or whatever, right? In a certain situation, it could be 4 a.m. and you don't want to reach out to me, bother me, wake me up or whatever. Or you could just be one of those people who don't want to talk to their mother, their father about the situation, their brother or sister, best friend, or their lover. You want to thug it out, right? You want to handle it, deal with it yourself. Like, I got this. This is where the KRC units come in. Nice. What they would do is you're able to get a specific aspect of the Reiki that we provide here at UnearthedFlames, and you'll be able to sit still and call that in 3 to 5 minutes, and you'll be able to receive that Reiki from that object anytime during the day, as multiple times as you want it a day, without having to reach out to anyone, without having to tell somebody. It's just, your quick pick me up. It's a great sleep aid. It's a great way to give yourself a boost of energy, and all the other different amenities that come along with UltrAnahata Reiki level 1 that is empowered into it. So that was one of the things that became more innovative about. So the last thing I'll discuss for today is, how did I come up with UnearthedFlames? Well, before I go into that, let me just make another touch up on as far as having our beloved Patreons not being so dependent and everything like that. So, one of the philosophies, if you will, here with the UnearthedFlames is we love to continuously strive to be the change we wish to see on the planet. For your healing isn't about fixing people. It's about helping people reconnect with the light that's already within them. In my experience, anyway. So, in the words of Lord Asar, the greatest mystery ever held upon the face of the planet is the knowledge of oneself. And with that being said, let's get into why. Where we got Unearthed Flames from. So, the meaning behind Unearth the Flame Within. Unearth the Flame Within came from, I'll say, 2 sources. One, my teacher, SMGG, he would often talk about how the divine birthright, which is the Kundalini, is unawakened. It is buried within people. Unawakened, unexplored, rarely tapped into. And the second part to this, big up to Earth, Wind, and Fire and my father. Because my father can sing like a soprano, and I used to love hearing Earth, Wind, and Fire singing because it reminded me of my father when he would sing. And come to find out, he used to sing Earth, Wind, and Fire songs to my mother. Man had lyrics. That's how he got my mama. Years later, I was here. So, as a homage to all of that, they had a song that was called Serpentine Fire, right? And the Serpentine Fire is also a reference to the Kundalini. And, at the time, the Reiki we provided was known as Kundalini Reiki, right? So, in the song, here's a quote that I wrote down. I'm going to tell the story of morning glory, all about the serpentine fire. And with that in mind, I said, I want to unearth the flame within people. Thus, the term unearthed flames was brought about into creation. Although I do not activate people's Kundalini, I leave that up to my teacher, Sri Master Girls. I leave that up to him because my thought process with that is, why drink from my chalice when I can bring you to the mighty Sweetwater River? And you can, have it fill up there. Pause. So, yeah, that's where I come up with the term unearthed flames and things like that. And like I said, I would love to go ahead and put out more of these videos in a way to, my new customers and my loyal Patreons and everything like that can see my face a bit more, connect with me a bit more, and hear me talk about a lot of different things we provide. And, with all that, I bid you all goodbye. May you all be blessed, and may the love of your ancestors and your divinity continue to be with you. All right, little more.